course, we begin here at home with the People's Democratic Party, the PDP, and Pan-Yoruba Social, Cultural and Political Organization, Afenifere, Nigeria Labour Congress, Trade Union Congress, and some civil society organizations yesterday expressed outrage at the recent hike in petrol prices, lamenting that the federal government is inflicting further hardship on Nigerians. To get a clear picture of what Nigerian citizens are going through to buy petrol, Arise correspondent Oba Adeoye, who monitored the situation across Lagos, put together this report.
It's a difficult time for filling stations across the metropolis in managing crowd. You can see a lot of people have found their way into the premises of this mobile filling station, but unfortunately people want to buy inside the keg or jerrycan are not being allowed to buy inside the keg or jerrycan. They are only selling into vehicles. The situation is similar across the metropolis. If you look at their signposts here, they are selling at the rate of 868 naira per litre, and that's the average you can get. You see people selling 850 per litre, 900 per litre, 950 per litre, 1,000 naira per litre, while some are selling for as high as 1,200 naira per litre. So it depends. We don't have uniform pricing for the products in Lagos today, because this queue of vehicles you are seeing from this point, stretches as far as several kilometers away from here. For people who are conversant with this axis of the state, and you also have some motorists parking their cars out there, bringing out jerrycans to get the product. But since they are not selling to people with jerrycans, those ones cannot get fuel unless they go to join the queue. So it's a catch-22 situation right here, right now in Ogba, in Ikeja, Lagos. Someone traveling from Obalende to Ikorodu yesterday had to pay as much as 2,500 naira for that distance of journey. And someone told me yesterday that she was coming from Ikeja to Ogba. That's a close distance, and she spent nothing less than 600, 700 naira yesterday. So the situation is not regular, it's not uniform in Lagos. Everybody seems to be their own government without anybody, telling anybody what to do or how to fix their price or what to sell the product for. What's your experience like so far?
Well, it's extremely terrible. I'm telling you as I speak now, I came here around 5:30 in the morning, and I've been queuing right from Excellence Hotel. We take it gentle by gentle coming down here. So you can see by now, I think it's almost 12 or to 1 since morning just to get fuel. So it's not really easy, it's horrible. But what can we do? We are here, this situation we find ourselves.
All right, thank you so very much. So that's the situation and that's the experience that a lot of people share here in Ogba at the mobile filling station.
The situation is truly biting. Ayo, I'll begin with you.
All right, okay. Truly biting is a mild way of putting things. We've talked about this a number of times since, first of all, the fuel queues returned to different parts of the country, the lingering fuel crisis we've experienced in Nigeria, and second of all, the hike that came afterwards. Yesterday, I'd mentioned that it's almost as if, it seems as if the government is out of touch with the realities of Nigerians. I said that we've argued again and again for and against the removal of fuel subsidy, and I think that we have a consensus on this table, which is that it is a right move. It is inevitably, we're going to have to do that at some point so that we can, we can redirect those funds and we channel those funds to building infrastructure. We have we have trillions of dollars in terms of infrastructural deficit in Nigeria. But what has been criticized again and again is the manner in which it has been done. And it seems as if the government isn't listening. This is on the back of the recent End Bad Governance, End Hunger protest in Nigeria, where people came out to protest the fact that life is hard for the average Nigerian. Remember that some of the things we've called for is that if you're going to remove fuel subsidy and increase prices, then put in some cushions in place. Where are the CNG buses that the president promised Nigerians? Where are the CNG conversion kits that the president promised Nigeria? We said we're going to move away from dependence on PMS and a cheaper alternative, which would be in the form of CNG buses. We've heard announcements upon announcements, but in terms of concrete delivery, we haven't really seen that happen. And that's why the PDP has come out to say that you are further impoverishing Nigerians. This will have a great effect on the livelihood of people. And unfortunately, the president is in China. We haven't heard much from him with regards to the situation on ground. Nigerians are wasting productivity on fuel queues across the country. Nigerians who have not even seen the 70,000 naira in terms of the minimum wage that the president had signed into law, haven't seen that materialize in many instances, had to grapple with the effect of what their current wage is and having to deal with increase in fuel prices. This will cause an attendant increase in, number one, transportation costs. It's crazy right now. Food inflation. It would almost undo the efforts made by the monetary side of things to ensure that inflation comes down. I don't know what the inflation numbers would be in the next year, in next few months, but this is a situation whereby we should pay a national emergency to have maintained this. And I think that Nigerians have suffered enough under this administration.
Well, I think we, as far as I'm concerned, I think we all have a reason to believe that we all should have been prepared for this. You see, once the exchange rate was normalized and Naira moved to roughly 2,000 to the US dollar, that was a signal, at least should have been for every Nigerian, that the product that powers the country, which is petrol and diesel, technically speaking, would definitely have to go up. And government tried to compress that, try to manage that toward the end of the year, keeping it around 600, 700. And I think at a point, the government was saying, look, we will not allow petrol prices to move higher than that price. Those were signals as well. So for me, as a business journalist, what I look for is signaling. I look at what the government is saying and what it's not saying. What is government saying or government officials saying, and why do they say that? And what do they mean by saying that? Once the word goes out that we will not allow petrol prices go beyond 600 naira, I knew, and everybody in this should know, that the price was being artificially fixed or depressed in a manner as not to cause socioeconomic chaos. So the signaling were there. And again, you can't do an exchange rate of 1,600 on average and expect that the products that Nigerians depend from the top to the bottom of the pyramid would stay at that particular level. Look, Mr. President depends on petrol and diesel. He rides very executive vehicles, and his entire team, they depend on petrol. By the way, this petrol imported, okay? There's hardly anyone in Nigeria, from Mr. President to the Mr. Vice President to everyone down the bottom of the pyramid, whether it's in jerrycan or in a 250 million naira vehicle, all use imported petrol. So we've got the whole pyramid of the country using petrol, including Mr. President. So that means that this is something at the heart of Nigeria and every Nigerian. So whatever level you look at it. So we need to then look at the issue of CNG buses you mentioned about. Yeah. CNG buses would not, if you bring in 2 million CNG buses, it's not going to be enough, because folks down in the village will not have access to CNG buses. People in hinterlands want petrol to grind pepper, to do a bit of onions and a few other things. They don't need CNG buses. They're not going anywhere with any CNG buses. CNG buses looks very sexy and nice for those of us in Lagos, Abuja, and perhaps Port Harcourt and Kano.
Very well said, Bosin. I do enjoy your take. However, having said, I'm glad you spoke about, as a business journalist, you're looking for signaling and so forth. However, the common man shouldn't have to worry about that. There's a level of citizen engagement that needs to be done. You cannot increase something that every single person in Nigeria depends on for their well-being, whether it's through the generator, it's for feeding or for whatever, arbitrarily. It's not done. There must be sensitization. There must be an announcement. If it cannot be avoided, then give people a buffer period. Let them know that by this period, by the way, as it is done in many other countries, the petrol price will be going up as of midnight at such and such a time. Until now, it has been almost 48 hours. I believe we're going into almost 72 hours. And there's nobody taking ownership of this price hike. Nobody has come to address Nigerians to say, the price has gone up, and this is why it has gone up, and we apologize, whatever the position is. Our Minister of Petroleum is out of the country. That's not an excuse, because there's a whole team that that's still here in Nigeria. We're still waiting to hear from NNPC. The last I heard from the head of retail of NNPC is that he distanced himself from the directive for the prices to be increased. Now, then the Minister of State for Petroleum, Senator Heineken Lekpoberi, also distanced himself from this directive. So the question is, now people are wondering who's in charge? Who issued this directive? Where is it coming from? Who do we address our concerns and our frustrations to? And that's an unfair position to put people in, because ultimately all this is arising from issues concerning NNPC, concerning foreign currency, but you can't make the common man pay for the inefficiencies of NNPC to date while we're trying to get our house in order. It needs to be a fair and level playing field for all. Now to our next story, as Nigeria's Vice President Kashim Shettima has officially inaugurated a comprehensive $115 million upgrade project at the West Africa Container Terminal in Onne River State. The inauguration ceremony expectedly attracted several dignitaries, including some of the finest professionals in the world's maritime sector. Correspondent Andy Omano has the details.
The formal commissioning of the multi-million-dollar upgrade project of the West Africa Container Terminal in Onne River State by a representative of the Vice President there. No doubt, the monumental investment underscores APM Terminal's unwavering commitment to Nigeria's economic growth, thereby solidifying its position as a key trade hub in the West Africa sub-region. Vice President Kashim Shettima commends APM Terminals for its huge investment in WACT, assuring the company of government's resolve to continuously provide enabling environment for businesses to thrive.
This project is a testament to the administration's unwavering commitment to creating an enabling environment for infrastructure development. The expansion of this terminal will increase cargo handling capacity, reduce congestion, and enhance the efficiency of our ports. The impact of this project will be felt far beyond this port. It will boost economic activity in the region, create jobs, and stimulate growth. It will enhance Nigeria's competitiveness in global trade.
For his part, the Minister of Marine and Blue Economy assures of his ministry's support for the terminal operators to modernize the port, thereby reducing the cost of doing business at the nation's gateway.
The ministry commends Messrs. WACT and all stakeholders involved in the trust and collaboration that brought about this milestone achievement. The federal government remains committed to ensuring an enabling environment for the continued growth and development of the maritime sector. This commitment aligns fully with the renewed hope agenda of the administration under the leadership of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, GCFR.
Both the Chief Operating Officer, APM Terminals, and Managing Director, West Africa Containers Terminal, were upbeat that the journey, which commenced 3 years ago, has come to fruition.
The West Africa Container Terminal, WACT, represents more than just another pin on our global map. It's a testament to our unwavering belief in Nigeria's potential and our commitment to being a long-term partner in its growth story. Our 150 million investment in modernizing WACT is more than just a financial commitment. It's a vote of confidence in recognizing Nigeria's future and playing a role in shaping it. It's about creating a gateway to handle the exponential growth we are ready to witness here. It's about ensuring that we stand here as a trusted partner, capable of supporting the ascent every step of the way.
Our terminal now boasts cutting-edge technology and top-tier facilities, positioning us as the forefront in our industry. As you will see during the tour, our new administrative and support buildings have been thoughtfully designed to enhance efficiency and the comfort, creating an exceptional work environment for our greatest assets, the incredible people of WACT. They are without a doubt the best in any workplace.
The Comptroller General of Customs was not less happy at the feat achieved by APM, parent company of West Africa Containers Terminal. He, however, reminded both stakeholders in the maritime sector to tackle some challenges that may cast a black pall on the feet of the upgraded terminal.
What we are doing today creates an opportunity for us to strengthen the existing partnership between Nigeria Customs Service and APMT. For quite some time, there has been an increase in the incidences of containers that are imported into Nigeria in violation of our laws. A couple of months ago, I was here to perform the unenviable duty of announcing the seizure of over 800 units of arms and ammunition.
Already, the APM terminals has also intensified talks with government and port authority to make its plans for future investment concrete. The management says a proposal to invest more than $500 million in the future is built on the foundation of long-term partnership. Expectedly, there were torrents of goodwill messages at the inauguration ceremony. There were also a virtual tour of the upgraded terminal lasting about 10 minutes. From Port Harcourt, it's Andy Omano, Arise News.
Well, thank you very much, Andy, for bringing us that report. The Vice President, Kashim Shettima, is the President of the Presidential Enabling Business Environment Council, PEBEC. And so this is part of also furthering a vibrant business environment in Nigeria and hopefully a venue generation for the nation as well. We'll keep watch on this. Congratulations.